Welcome to the Basketball Movement Podcast. I'm Anthony Chavis.
I'm Craig Smith. Thanks for watching. Coach, Bass Pro Tournament of Champions starts this week.
Yep.
It's my favorite weekend of the year. I look forward to it every year.
It's big here.
I've been coming since 1988 when I came down here to go to college. Yes, I'm old.
He's old.
I take my kids with me now. My mom and dad come down to see us and spend the weekend. All we do is watch basketball. It's a hoop junkie's dream.
It's a good time.
It's my favorite thing that happens high school basketball-wise in the country all year.
Yeah. Who's in it this year?
So we've got 3 teams from Missouri.
Okay.
Glendale from Springfield.
Yep.
Ozark, just down the road.
Yep.
Webster Groves from the St. Louis area.
Okay.
And the out of area, we've got some national powers. Oak Hill from Virginia, they're currently ranked #1 in the country.
Yep.
Last year's national champion, La Lumiere from Indiana.
From Indiana.
We've got Brentwood Academy from Tennessee.
Tennessee.
A team from Utah, Wasatch.
Yep.
And a perennial favorite, Christ the King, out of New York.
Always tough.
Always tough, bringing that New York City style ball down here. Really hard, aggressive defense and fast tempo.
So Oak Hill, I've heard, has got 7 kids either committed to or offered for D1 scholarships.
7. It's hard to believe. They've got 5 kids already committed, 2 other kids with offers, and then multiple underclassmen that won't even play that'll get offers. They are loaded. It's a college team, basically.
Now, I watched one of them, the YouTube highlights on the McCormick kid. He's going to Kansas,
He's
right?
going to Kansas, yep, David McCormick.
He's good.
He's a good, big body. We don't see many guys like him around these
Yep.
parts.
Yep, and we talked a little bit earlier. You said DeMarcus Cousins, who also played in this tournament,
Yep.
About how when he was a young high school kid, just throwing, who was it?
Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe around.
Yeah, just threw him around, just ragdolled him.
So is McCormick that kind of type?
I don't know if he's as tall. You know,
Okay.
he's only about 6'9".
Okay.
And Boogie was a big dude, and he really threw Monroe around. When Boogie was a junior, Greg Monroe was the #1 senior in the country, and Boogie hurt him.
So is Oak Hill the favorite this year?
Yeah, Oak Hill and La Lumiere are the 2 favorites, I think,
Okay.
pretty clearly. Oak Hill's deeper. La Lumiere wants to run. Those kids have been playing for that coach for a while, even their upperclassmen. So I think a little more system-based. They don't get guys rolling in for just 1 year like Oak Hill does sometimes.
So the local teams, Glendale and Ozark, how many wins do you think they post?
Ooh-wee. Draw came out. Glendale gets La Lumiere in the first round.
Very first game.
If you're
It'll be a good game.
fan of high tempo, you're looking for a 100-point game, that's the option. That
Okay.
game right there, because Glendale wants to run, speed you up, get the
Yep.
ball in the hands of their shooters, because
Yep.
they've got a ton of them, and La Lumiere is certainly not going to slow it down against them. And Ozark, unfortunately, drew Oak Hill. So it's going to be tough for either of them to win their first round game.
Yep.
Now, when you get to the second half of the draw, there's a chance to win. Honestly, I'd say both of them end up with at least 1 win.
So 1 and 2 for both
I'd say
of them.
1 and 2 probably for both of them.
Good deal. Good deal. Of course, Basketball Movement will be there to cover all things Bass Pro Tournament of Champions. That includes games, interviews, dunk contests, the whole 9. So make sure you follow us on social media and check it out. My man Bill Self, who once got in trouble at the Bass Pro Tournament of Champions, they lost again to Texas Tech here recently, which got me to thinking, is it going to be 14 in a row this year? Or may we see a new champion in the Big 12?
Sooner or later, it has to happen, right?
No.
It's been. I
No,
just can't
he
believe.
doesn't mean it, Bill.
I can't believe it. It's been this many years. I thought last year they'd lose, and coming the last 2 weeks of the season, all a couple teams had to do was take care of business, and
Yeah.
everybody spit the bit. Everybody's like, "Oh, we can finally win this conference."
It's tough to win in fog, though.
You just can't get it done. They've lost 2 home games this year, which is, one of the 7 signs, basically. I just don't see it. I'm stunned already that they've lost 2. They're missing one of their stud freshmen. So there are some weaknesses on that team this year. If someone's going to get him, it has to be now. If you don't get him this year, I don't know when it's going to be.
That's true. That's true. And we talked about how you need offense to beat them.
Yes.
And so we both certainly feel like there's one team in Norman who has enough offense. Will they be the ones to knock them off?
I don't know, but I can tell you that I will be watching Oklahoma play Kansas both times.
That's going to be must-see TV both times, for sure.
Watching Trae Young play, you're just watching basically an NBA offense run at the college level. It's a bunch of side-to-side screen rolls, a bunch of flat screens on top, trying to get him in space. He'll shoot it from 30 feet, so you have to guard him at 30 feet.
Yep.
he gets around you, he's a willing passer, and Coach Kruger has surrounded him with shooters. It's like watching the Houston Rockets play.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun to watch.
They are. Them in Kansas, there'll be 100-point games there. It's fun to watch as a basketball fan.
That's been a trend here lately. Lots of 100-point games. You see Michigan State scored 100 a couple of times.
Yep.
Kentucky, I think, has scored 100 a couple of times. That's something you didn't see in college basketball even like 3 years ago.
No, it's a byproduct of having 5 people that can shoot the basketball. The skill level's higher than it's ever been. Kids start at a younger age. They learn the skills they need, and as they get older, now we've got 6'11" guys out here shooting 25-footers. So now all 5 people can shoot, points go up.
Yeah, yeah. So we're both in agreement, 14 in a row again this year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right, so speaking of college basketball, we're going to go over our mock NBA draft 2018.
All right.
Okay, so right now, the top 5 picks I think would be Atlanta, Dallas, Orlando, Memphis, and Boston.
Yes.
So you're Atlanta, you got the first pick. Who are you taking?
They seem to be in love with the point guard, Schroeder. They've been waiting for him to be what he's been this year.
Yeah.
He's having
On
a
a bad
career
team.
year on a bad team. He might be looting in a riot. We don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody has to score and get assists. Maybe it's him on the bad team. Maybe he's a bad team, good stats guy. But I think he can play a little bit. They need a 3-and-D guy. They need a guy. The NBA has gone to switching 1 through 4.
Yep.
So they need someone that can guard stretch 4s and point guards. I think there's really one choice for them, and that's probably Marvin Bagley.
Yeah. I think no matter who you are, if you get the number 1 pick, you got to take Bagley.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know anybody that would have enough length to pass on him completely.
Yep.
He's not overly long like some of the other bigs are that we'll get to in a second, but he is a tremendous offensive rebounder. He does a great job finding the hole. He knows where the ball's coming off.
He does a good job working before.
Yeah.
Get good position.
As we know, one skill that always translates to the NBA is offensive rebounding. If you can do it, you can do it.
Last year's Bass Pro Tournament champion, MVP, and champion with Sierra Canyon.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. Okay, so Dallas, number 2 pick, also have a guard. Who are they taking?
I would think they'd go for either DeAndre Ayton from Arizona or Mo Bamba from Texas.
Yep.
Both of them tall, long, 7-foot guys with 7'6" plus wingspans.
Can finish at the rim.
Can finish at the rim. They've shown the lateral quickness to guard guards.
Yep.
And that's the big thing. Teams are getting their opponents into 1-5 or 1-4 screen rolls, leaving big guys guarding little bitty water bugs. So you have to have enough lateral quickness to continue guarding them. And I think those 2 bigs are able to do that.
Okay. Orlando, who they've kind of whiffed here on a couple of their picks.
Yep.
We don't know if they're sold on Gordon or not yet, but it certainly looks like they're leaning towards he's our staple. So
right.
Who are they going with?
They've got some options. They need a guard that can handle the ball.
Yep.
I know how you feel about Trae Young.
Trae Young.
He would be.
This is your pick.
Him and Aaron Gordon in some screen roll. As long as Trae continues to do this through the Big 12 schedule, it's only been 12 games. Sometimes I'm afraid we jump the gun on the young guys. But if he continues playing like this,
Kyrie Irving played 8 games.
That's true. There'll be a lot of NBA GMs drooling over getting him out there in space with a guy like Gordon.
For sure.
I wasn't sure that would be a good pick when you and I first talked about it.
Yep.
But now I think you might be right.
And now I'll kind of reverse course. I'll tell you why. I'm kind of sold on Porter here at number 3.
Yeah.
And you put him and Gordon together. Porter can handle the ball. I think you don't necessarily need a dominant ball handler. The way Golden State plays without Curry shows you that. But I'm kind of intrigued. Okay, so Memphis has the 4th pick. Let's say Memphis takes Bamba, who's left.
Right.
Boston's sitting there at 5.
Right.
They still haven't picked a young European kid.
Yep.
And
Luka
Trae Young,
Doncic. Yep.
Luka Doncic, and Trae Young's still available.
Yep.
So what if Boston selects Trae Young,
Yep.
puts him behind Kyrie Irving for a year or 2, say learn a little bit, let's go slow here, and then boom, they've got a young nucleus of Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. over the next 10 years.
Yeah, that would be spectacular. And Kyrie's only 25.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So best case scenario is Trae Young turns out to be so good that they have to trade him.
Right. That would probably be okay. Danny would be okay with that if that would work out.
Yeah.
That would be great. They like to switch. Brad Stevens likes to switch a lot, so I'm not sure. Like
the defensive part for him would be
going to be the big issue.
Yeah. But we said that about Kyrie. So Kyrie proved that you don't really have to guard if you can score the way he can. We talked about earlier, so let me ask you this. Do you think Trae Young will be an all-star?
If he is, it's going to be a while. It's easy to look at talent like that and say, oh, yeah, he's going to be an all-star.
Let's say Orlando picks him so he gets a chance to play early.
Okay, and he's playing in the East.
Yep.
Okay. Does he go in ahead of Wall?
No.
Beal?
No.
Isaiah Thomas?
It depends. We haven't seen how Cleveland's going to use him yet, so we'll go maybe there.
Kyrie?
No.
Kyle Lowry?
No.
DeMar DeRozan?
No. So that's 5 guys.
Clock's ticking already, man.
Yep. And we haven't said Kemba.
We haven't said Kemba. We haven't said Victor Oladipo.
Oh.
So now you're at 7. It's easy to say, yeah, he's a transcendent talent, but
so what does an all-star look like? 25 a game? He'd have to do what he's doing now in college.
Yes, he would. Absolutely. You're exactly right. Because Schroeder's not going to make it, and he's 18 and 12.
Yeah. Yeah. The point guard position in the NBA, you got to bring it every night.
It is loaded.
Yeah, because you're thinking about a guy like Drew Holiday being 15th, 16th best point guard in the league.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look out west. Steph, Russ, Harden, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard. You start running out of guys pretty quick. You know, a guy like Gary Harris has to get some. I mean, it's point guard position is loaded for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And even in a league where still teams are proving that you don't have to have a point guard.
Right.
And it's still loaded. I think you're getting more scoring guys like Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
Which reminds me, we talked about what would Philly look like now with Ben Simmons, Redick, Mitchell, Covington, and Embiid.
And Dario Saric, first guy off the bench.
Saric, first guy off the bench.
Yeah, every day that Fultz says his shoulder hurts, they have to be looking at Utah Jazz highlights just crying.
Or Boston Celtics highlights.
Oh, yeah, or putting Tatum out there. They'd really be long. Think how long. That would be an unbelievable lineup.
When you got 6'10" as your point guard, Redick's not a small guy, so he's 6'4", 6'5", and then you got 6'7" at your 3, 6'7" again at your 4, and then the great big old dude as your center who can step out and shoot threes. If they could draft all over again, who would they take?
Tatum.
Sure.
Tatum. He's the most versatile. I think that's what the NBA is going to look like in 5 years, maybe 10.
Steve Kerr talks about it all the time. Just having a bunch of like in-betweener dudes 6'7" to 6'9" that can guard every position, do a little bit of everything, shoot, pass, dribble. And we talked about 2 guys that would be perfect for this era. Chris Webber. And Lamar Odom.
Those 2 guys, if they were playing right now, that would be fun to watch.
It would. And I think Chris Webber had the perfect mix of I can post you up and I can run the break for you, make passes out of the high post.
Yep.
He'd be a guy like you'd like to see play on the Warriors of right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we talked about a couple of these rookies. Who's your favorite of Rookie of the Year? Is it going to be Simmons?
I think it'll be Simmons unless Utah Jazz make the playoffs. I think if the Jazz
make
the
playoffs,
key, right?
And
Donovan Mitchell
exactly
continues playing like this, I think he'll be Rookie of the Year. But if they don't make the playoffs, then I think it's going to be Simmons.
I think they will make the playoffs. I mean, Quinn Snyder, he's one of the best coaches in the league. He coaches his tail off every night. And of course, we've got to see him a little bit more than most people, being here in Missouri. Kind of watched him go through the ranks, fall through the ranks, get back up.
Rise right back up.
Yeah.
Well, he had the situation this year, kind of like Steve Kerr fell into in Golden State, where Gobert got hurt. So he just turned the Jazz loose and let them run with some space and go 1-4 a lot.
Yep.
And realized that would work. And then Gobert's going to come back and they're going to be ready to run. Same
Yeah.
thing happened when David Lee got hurt at Golden State, and they had to put Draymond Green in the lineup. They didn't know what they had, but as soon as they put him in when David Lee got hurt, they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, look what we can do."
Change basketball.
Look what we
forever.
can do.
Yeah. It's good. It's good, and they're a fun team to watch because they kind of play like they've got the 6-7 guys who can all kind of do it all. They play Hood, they play Joe Johnson, they play Ingles, and those guys can all guard 1 through 4, sometimes even 5.
Yep.
And Ingles is the ultimate. Who is that dude on the court? But before you know it, he's got like 10 points, 6 assists, and
He's
5
that old
rebounds.
dude at the Y that nobody wants to pick up. His team just keeps winning.
And he's got on Spaldings.
Yep, just
and
locking his guy down.
Like a skin tone knee brace.
Floor slapping, hustling after every loose, diving for a loose ball in a game at noon.
You don't
like
want
a
to
crazy
guard him
man.
because then you got slime all over you.
Yep, that's him. You love him on your team. When he's on another team, you can't figure out how come he keeps
And
scoring.
he shoots it like this.
Yep.
Yeah, he really plays well in the like the Olympics and those summer games. He gives people so much trouble on that Australian team.
Yeah.
Their whole team's kind of like that, just a bunch of scrappy dudes.
Play hard. They play hard. That's the culture they built.
Yeah, but Snyder can coach his tail off. I think they will make the playoffs. So my vote for Rookie of the Year is definitely Mitchell. Yeah, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. What's going on in Oklahoma City? Why can't they play together? Why can't they figure it out?
Well, you know my theories on this already. I told you that I thought Russell Westbrook was the Defensive Player of the Year because he is single-handedly holding Paul George and Carmelo to their season-low shooting percentage. They are, neither of them can shoot the ball anymore. And only one thing changed, and that's Russ. He's that guy that, and you know this, if you go play a game and you're playing with that guy, you hate it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't ever throw you the basketball until you're out of position, and he does it on purpose, so you have to throw it back to him. So you might be winning, but you hate playing for him and with him.
You will keep winning, but like you said, he's not going to give up the ball. And, I get it. I went to pick up games where I'm like, all right, I'm the best player here, so
Get out of my way.
get out of my way.
Rebound, set me some
I'm going to
screens.
score all the points, and we're going to stay on all day. We're never going to get off the court, but you guys ain't going to be shooting a whole
I've heard
lot.
the following words from you. Hey, Coach Gray, come set this screen. I've heard those words from your mouth.
Hey, come set this screen.
Pop.
We'll win.
You
Yeah.
pop. I'm not going to throw it to you, but pop anyway. That's okay. I understand.
Exactly. So it's for them, it's the kind of shots that Paul George and Carmelo are getting. And how did they think this was going to work? They're 3 ISO players.
I don't know. 3 ball-dominant guys? Mm-hmm. I have no idea how they thought it would work. Not only that, 3 ball-dominant guys surrounded by guys that can't shoot.
Ooh-wee.
When you have a starting shooting guard that can't shoot.
Bomani Jones calls Andre Roberson self-check.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The other team's bench laughs when he shoots free throws.
That's embarrassing.
And he's good enough defensively to still play
Yeah.
on a good basketball team.
So is that a diss or a compliment? Or a little bit of both? It's a milkshake of both.
If it wasn't for gravity, he couldn't hit the floor. He's got to fix that shooting, man. It's almost embarrassing to see a guy with that athletic ability airball a free throw. It makes no sense.
Yeah. So it's got to be mental because for sure he went into the offseason thinking, all right, I got to become a better
I have
shooter.
to fix this.
Like, I'm going to shoot 1,000 shots a day, or you think he was just kind of just like, eh.
It has to be mental. You know what happened to Nick Anderson when he missed the free throws when the Magic
Oh,
were
that
in the
was
finals?
bad.
He went from 85% to, oof.
Yeah.
He just,
And I didn't realize it was that bad until I watched the 30 for 30.
yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, he went from great to not good at all. Like, just couldn't make a free throw. So it has to be mental.
It's got to be mental. Yeah.
I guess if the other team was laughing at me when I missed a free throw, it would start to get mental.
For sure. For sure. I've even heard of guys who, like, when they catch the ball, they get rid of it so they don't get fouled, so they don't have to go to the free throw line.
So your best defender you can't have in a basketball game late in a close game. That's scary.
They hack-a-shacked him a couple of times. I've seen
Absolutely.
teams do that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that it's not going to work. We've
Right.
seen it for half a season. We knew before the season it wasn't going to work.
Right.
So what's our next option here?
Trade Paul George.
Yeah, let's just trade him right now.
He's not staying.
He's not.
Look at his body language. He's not happy.
Yeah.
He's not staying.
everybody seems to know he's going to
California
LA.
dreaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would trade him right now. The trade that I would throw out there, and I think Oklahoma City can't say no to, Kuzma and Julius Randle for Paul George. Kuzma's great. He's a great player. He's going to be a great player. I think they love him, but if you're getting Paul George and you think that you're getting LeBron, you don't need Kuzma. And you got to decide between him or Ingram.
Yeah, you have to decide.
So I think they're more tied to Ingram at this point.
Yep, and they've already decided they don't want Randall. That's pretty clear.
Oh, they're tanking Randall.
They're tanking him, not giving him any minutes with the good players, not giving him
He's
any run in the
in
right
a contract
lineups.
year.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's another podcast subject for another day.
Yep.
Teams tanking players, but why wouldn't they do it? Who says no here?
I don't think either one of them say no. LA might say no just because they know they're getting him anyway. Mm-hmm. And then maybe they can trade Randall and Clarkson or Randall and Kuzma for something else.
Yeah.
That would be the only way that why they would say no.
So what
Surely he's
Oklahoma
going.
City has to do, they have to get another team involved in the trade. They've
Yep.
got to at least just get some interest for Paul George.
Yep.
And this is where I think they send Paul George to him and Steven Adams. They send him to Portland. Memphis sends Gasol and Chandler Parsons, or the contract that is Chandler Parsons,
Right.
to Oklahoma City. And Memphis gets a whole bunch of guys from Portland and Oklahoma City to make up for those two contracts. Because Memphis is going to tank. They need to tank so they can get a better draft pick. And it's clearly over for them this year.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Gasol's unhappy.
Gasol's unhappy.
He's unhappy. They got rid of old Grit and Grind, and they're not very happy that Tony Allen left. So
He got Fizdale fired.
Fizdale fired. Conley's hurt. They're playing slow.
It's tank ball.
It's tank ball.
It's tank ball. So they need a good pick. Let's get rid of Gasol, and you get a chance to get from under Parsons' contract.
What do you mean? You mean that $100 million for one hip isn't a good contract?
Ooh, it's a bad contract.
That's bad. Man.
It's a bad contract.
That sets your franchise back. That's
little
a
bit.
killer.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're paying Conley the way you're paying him,
Yep.
paying Gasol the way you're paying him, and you're picking guys like Wade Baldwin.
Didn't even make it 2 years in the league. Nobody else even picked him up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's with Portland now. I think he's on
They
a
did.
two-way with Portland.
They two-wayed him. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good pick then. First
They
round,
got a
right?
chance to get him back in this trade, though. So,
I don't even think Vanderbilt wants him back.
yeah. That's me. All right, so we came up, we were visiting the trade machine.
Yeah.
We came up with a couple more trades. I said the Clippers are going to be tanking. You disagreed.
Yeah, I
It
don't
makes
think they can
sense.
afford to.
It makes sense because they're building a new building. They're trying to get a new building. And, of course, the Lakers are taking control of the town again. So I've got Vucevic, Augustine, and Terrence Ross
Yeah?
going to the Clippers.
Okay.
So, that's in support of the tanking theory.
Right.
And you got DeAndre Jordan
Uh-huh.
and Lou Williams going to Orlando, which Orlando's going to automatically tank because it'll take them a while to figure out how to play with all those guys.
Yeah, and they get the early draft pick. Sweet Lou needs some burn.
Mm-hmm. DeAndre Jordan is ready to get up out of there.
He needs to be out. He should have just signed in Dallas 2 years ago when they had him to begin with.
I'm not sure that would have been any better for him, though, either. But
Yeah, that's true. Playing with the
playing with Dirk and
53-year-old Dirk,
Yeah.
who I love.
yeah. So I think he gets a chance to get up out of there. They get Lou Williams in the trade.
Yeah?
He's always a good trade piece.
Yeah, sure.
A good guy who will shoot some shots for you.
Hey, the ball's going up, man.
Ball's going up
If it
quite a
feels
bit
like leather, shoot it. That's his theory.
and can help you get some losses or wins. Just depends on what you're in the business of doing.
Which one do you want? Losses
Yeah.
or wins? He can help
Yeah.
you both ways.
Trade number 4. Washington needs to get better. Standing still in the East right now.
Yep.
Memphis wanting to tank. Marc Gasol to Washington. How do they get it done?
They need to get out from under Jan Mahimi's contract.
Ooh-wee, please.
That's
Please.
an albatross. That's weighing him down.
Washington fans, start the hashtag, get from under Jan Mahimi's contract.
it's hamstringing the entire franchise. They can't sign anybody with that. So if they could get him to Memphis, him and Gortat, Kelly Oubre,
Yep.
who is actually getting better, but is someone they could get rid of
Yeah.
with Porter playing the way he's playing. If they could get those three out and get Gasol and whoever back.
Whatever Memphis decides to give him.
I mean, Beal, Wall, Gasol, Porter. That's a good 4.
I think so. Can they beat the Cavs with that 4?
No. Is anybody going to beat the Cavs this year?
You need
somebody gonna beat the
3
Cavs this year?
superstars to dethrone LeBron in the East. You
Right.
got to have 3 guys that could possibly score
You have to win
30.
4 out of 7 against him.
Yeah, stuff.
Because you know they're going to slow the game down and try to grind you up.
Could you take all the other teams in the East and put together a team
That would beat Cleveland
that would beat Cleveland?
if everybody's healthy? No. Can't do it. You know, I'd say you could get Kyle Lowry or DeMar DeRozan to help, but I've seen
it
them
probably
in the
looks like
playoffs.
Kyrie Irving,
Yeah.
DeRozan, Brad Beal. Who's your 4? Giannis.
Yeah.
You could put together a team.
You sure?
Yeah. It doesn't matter who you put at 5. You put those 4 guys out there, they can beat whoever LeBron's team is.
I'm not sure everybody can stop LeBron from getting his 40.
LeBron's had his hands full with the Greek Freak this year,
Yeah.
but he doesn't play
That's
any
crazy.
defense.
None.
No.
Neither does Kyrie.
Kyrie's been a lot better
Neither
this year.
does Beal.
No comment.
And we
Okay.
love Brad.
Trade number 5. Toronto needs to get better. They need a matchup for LeBron
Yep.
for 7 games if
Yes.
they ever want to get past Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
I think their best bet, CJ Miles of San Antonio. They get back their Toronto son, Rudy
They
Gay.
get back Rudy Gay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Going back in the time machine.
He does a good job on LeBron though. Like
He does. He's
plays
bigger
well.
than people think.
Yeah.
He's 6'9". That's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop him from shooting 17-footers that are contested?
Ooh.
That's
gonna
the
be-
hard part.
Yeah. And Toronto's opened up their offense this year. So they're shooting more threes. That doesn't really fit with his game. He's more of a pull-up, ISO,
Right.
17-foot guy.
Man, it's weird how the NBA's changed. It just changed overnight. So poor guys like him just all of a sudden, and ISO Joe Johnson, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
the game that everybody loved, it was like, oh, that's not efficient anymore.
The
It just
thing
happened
that's
like
helped
that.
Joe is he can also shoot the 3 though.
Right.
He can step out and shoot the 3 and shoot. He was the highest paid player in the NBA for a long time,
crazy,
probably
isn't
because
it?
of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So we've got 5 trades there need to happen. So NBA execs, I hope you're listening to us. We know what we're talking about. All right. From ESPN.com, lawyers for 3 of the men charged in FBI's investigation into college basketball corruption have asked a federal judge to dismiss charges against them, arguing that their clients' alleged conduct might violate NCAA rules but does not break federal law, which is what I thought from the beginning. Of course, the NCAA doesn't want you to do it because they want to keep all the money for themselves.
Right.
But it is not illegal. So that's why I was confused in the beginning of this whole corruption scandal is why is the government...
where exactly is the fraud?
Yeah, why is the government involved at all?
Yeah, who was defrauded?
Yeah.
The colleges? No, they got their player. The player? No, they got their cash. The shoe company? No, they got the kid to sign with them.
Everybody
Where was the
got it.
fraud?
Yeah. So what does the NCAA do next?
I don't know, other than there will be stiff and heavy penalties with even the sniff of something being incorrect. I mean, it's going to get to the point where
They're gonna have to go. They can't just go after Louisville then.
That's hard to believe too. But there's kids sitting out for weird reasons that no one is sure of. You
Yeah.
know, there's a kid in Kansas sitting out because they can't figure out who owned a car.
There's a
in
kid that
Arizona.
just decommitted from USC.
Yeah, decommitted from USC. So there's a lot of kids being investigated where it hasn't come out yet. I know that they're looking into Nike ties with players and the AAU circuits. I think the first thing that's going to happen is shoe companies will quit sponsoring the circuits. That's going to be funny.
Wow.
Then it'll really be the Wild West. Because as bad as the corruption was, I think it would only get worse. It's a slippery slope here.
And doesn't this kind of support the fact that we were talking about LeVar Ball's Junior Basketball Association?
Right.
They kind of need this then, right?
You would certainly think so. There has to be a place for these kids to go play and make a little cash.
Yep.
That doesn't include going to college when you don't want to go to college.
If you don't want to go. If you just say, I don't want to go, I don't want to be here, I don't want to make a mockery of this academic institution, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to be a basketball player. That's what I am. That's what I'm going to do. So let me play in a basketball league. That's why it seems genius, but I just haven't figured out yet. Is it genius or completely crazy?
Both. The problem is when you start messing with money, you start taking somebody's money away, they can get really crazy.
Yeah. And their ability to make money.
There are billions of dollars flowing into the NCAA and member institutions, and they are not willing to give it up. So that's going to be a crazy fight, what they'll try to do.
Yeah. Is college basketball a billion-dollar industry?
Absolutely.
And if they lose that, which this basketball league's definitely going to take a big chunk out of it. College football is next, and ooh-wee. You don't want to lose that college football money. That college football money is... They getting that A-Rab money.
And billions and billions of dollars. Think about not even just a billion-dollar business in terms of what the institutions are making. Think about how many people in this country are in $5 NCAA pools.
Yeah. Or just...
if all of a sudden those games are meaningless because the best players aren't playing in them, because I don't know about you, I'm a big-time basketball fan. I'm hardcore. I have never once entered into NCAA Division II bracket pool.
Never once. Never once.
And I know a lot of those kids. Coached a lot of them. Coached against a lot of them. Know them. Talk to them. Text them. Get phone calls from them. I've never once done a D2 bracket.
How many NCAA pools have you entered?
Yeah, hundreds.
ESPN lets you enter 10 per email.
Right.
So automatically I enter like 97.
Right.
So you get a chance to win $10,000. That's a plug for ESPN.
Why would you not do it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm interested to see LeVar Ball's league. What's best case scenario for this league?
Best case scenario is it lasts 4 years. The NCAA realizes they're losing all their money. They finally cave. We start paying players like they should be paid in actual cash money, not college credits. And we can get back to what it was, where the fan bases are rooting for the players they want to root for.
That's true.
Either that or the NCAA or the NBA changes their rules to the baseball rule. You can go straight out of high school.
That's definitely another option worth looking at.
You can't go until after your junior year.
I think you should be able to go whenever you want.
So do I.
Yeah.
If you're capable. And people say, well, what about those kids who go and don't make it? Well, what about the lawyer who takes a job and doesn't make it?
And all kind of stuff.
There's all kinds of jobs you don't make it when someone told you were good enough.
I was going to be a rapper when I was 4, so I thought I was going to be Kumo D.
You almost made it.
I almost made it.
Almost made it. Kumo Ant.
So, LeVar Ball, if you need somebody to cover your league, you got 2 handsome dudes right here. Holler at us.
One.
You're starting a franchise today. You're going to be the GM for the next 5 years.
All right.
Okay. Which trio do you want? Kawhi Leonard, Kristaps Porzingis with Coach Greg Popovich, Ben Simmons, Joe Embiid with Coach Brad Stevens, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns with Steve Kerr, or Anthony Davis and Giannis with Jason Kidd?
I can scratch off Simmons and Embiid immediately because I don't trust his health.
Okay. Embiid's
health. He's got that Greg Oden run going already.
Yeah.
Where he's running already looks like an old man.
Okay.
He's one fall away from. I mean, 7'3". Those guys' careers just don't last long.
That's true.
They just don't. I can scratch Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns because the next time either of them plays half-court defense will be the first. So I don't want to watch that. Although they'd be fun to watch, but
with Steve Kerr.
With Kerr, yeah, but he likes his teams to defend a little bit, and they don't defend at all. Either one of them.
Well, maybe they just haven't been coached to do that yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns playing for Tibbs.
He should know.
Yeah.
And they get worse every game, it seems like.
That's true.
I'll scratch off Anthony Davis and the Greek Freak unless I can fire Jason Kidd midway through the first season.
Oh, what? You don't like Jason Kidd as a coach?
Listen, he fouled up 4 with 4 seconds left because he didn't want the other team to get a 4-point play.
I don't remember that. I cannot confirm
now,
or deny.
Sometimes fouling late in the game, I can see, but in that situation, his reasoning behind it was really head scratching. It made literally no sense at all. So here I am stuck with Kawhi, Kristaps, and Popovich. And Kristaps has the same problem Embiid does. Those 7'3" guys don't last long. I mean, all 5 of those, you're going to get 2 or 3 years of fun basketball. The amount of young talent in the NBA is better than it has ever been.
It's pretty good right now.
It's fun to watch.
So you take Kawhi, Kristaps,
and Pop.
Okay.
You?
I think I would go with Davis and Giannis. To be fair, though, Jason Kidd's my idol.
So, I know, you Oaktown boys.
We're Oakland guys.
You Oakland guys have to stick together no matter what, don't you?
I remember watching him when he was in high school and then at Cal, and I was kind of skeptical on the coaching, but Milwaukee's a playoff team.
You know, he and Sean Livingston were the best high school players I'd ever seen until LeBron came along.
That's fair.
Kidd and Sean Livingston, they were wizards with the basketball. It was crazy.
He's always been like, whoa.
Yeah, fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the best young coaches. I know you disagree. Who would you rather have as coach instead of Kidd in that foursome?
With Giannis and
who would
Davis?
You say is the 4th best coach in the NBA? Pop, Kerr, Brad Stevens.
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle. He's got an NBA championship.
I'd take Carlisle. Or Spoelstra. I like Spo, too.
I'm not sold on Spoelstra. I think he's a great coach, but I don't know if he's in that top 4. It's hard to win an NBA championship.
Yeah.
It gets a lot easier when you got 3 of the best players at their position in the league.
I like D'Antoni, too, when you give him the right pieces.
Yeah, but his teams don't play any defense. I cannot support anything that does not involve defense. Seriously, my daughter runs around the house and she thinks basketball is called defense. So when she wants to play basketball, she said, "Hey, Dad, can we play defense?"
Oh, no. No one ever won a game 0 to -2, Anthony. You have to score to win, man.
Oh, man. So thank you for joining us on the Basketball Movement Podcast. We'll be back next week. Remember to check us out, Bass Pro Tournament Champions. Follow us on social media. Our social media will be somewhere on this screen, right here. Look right here or up here, one of these places. All right. Thanks to our camera crew. They're the best dudes ever. All right. We'll see you next week.